running backs like to get on the outside because like those corners, they don't like contact, but the Kansas City Chiefs corners do enjoy contact and do hit like tackling. And so, and shout out Spags, knew he would turn it around this season
Oh
and
yeah,
fix everything. And so,
you always
never a
had
doubt,
faith.
Spags.
Welcome back to another episode of the Kingdom Korner. We are your host. I'm Andrew, and with me, as always, is my good friend, Mr. Dale Baker. How are we feeling on this Jaguars week?
Oh man, feel good. Playing prime time again Monday night, and so which is unfortunate for us because we got to wait a few more days till the game, but it's still is just going to be an electric evening down there in Duval County. So can't
That's
wait.
right. That's right. Man, it's going to be really good. And then, we'll just have a short week turn around to go back against the Lions the next Sunday night. So, but, that's all right.
Hey, that'd be all right.
Hey, we'll be ready. We'll be ready. Hey, we do want to remind you up front, make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment, do all those great things. Leave us a review. Helps us a lot. And you might have noticed we actually expanded our social media presence, Dale.
Yes, I
So
have.
we are now on Instagram and TikTok and basically all the major ones you can find us on. So make sure you go follow us and friend us and whatever else, whatever platform it is and the style it is. Make sure to do all those things so you can keep up with all the great things that we have for you. So lots of good things coming. And as a reminder too, you can still get a $5 Kingdom Corner shirt. Mr. Dale has a model for one of them right there. You can get
Yes.
yourself one at ohheythreads.com. Just use the promo code kkpodcast, Kingdom Corner Podcast. So kkpodcast when you check out, and you can get that shirt for only $5. So we're basically giving them away is what it really is. So if you want to go find one, support this podcast and share the love, man, go to Oh Hey Threads. And we'll put all that stuff in the description of this podcast as well. So, but it's Jaguars week, Dale.
Man.
So, I mean, I guess the real question is, was last week against the Ravens scoring 37 points, was that just a fluke? Was it just because we were playing the Ravens, or is that who we're going to start expecting from week to week?
I think we're going to start expecting that week to week with the fact that they can move the ball. The offense can move the ball. I mean, we kind of talked about it, touched on it. That just having Xavier Worthy in the game made such a huge difference. And I think we
Yeah.
both of you and I were a little skeptical how big of a difference he was going to make in the game. Especially we didn't know how healthy he was going to be, how many snaps he was going to take. But he was in there quite a bit, and it really opened everybody else. It opened Juju up, Thornton, Travis Kelsey, Hollywood Brown, all those guys, just to open all that up. And so it's going to be interesting to see when, in a couple of weeks, when a healthy Rashid Rice comes and how much more it's going to open up or who's going to get more playing time and things like that. But we're talking about the Jaguars now.
That's right. Well, and you brought up that deep pass too. They have made a conscious
Yeah.
effort to throw it deeper this season. I mean, even before Worthy came back, remember he got hurt on what the second or third play of the
Yeah.
season, and so he was out for all those games and came back last week and immediately made an impact. But even before that, Mahomes has attempted a deep pass, so that is 20 yards or more in the air on a little over 12% of his pass attempts this season. That is his highest mark since 2019.
Wow.
And as you might remember, 2019 was his first year as a starter. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry, that's
Yeah.
2018. But 2019 was the year that they won the first Super Bowl
That's
in the
right.
Mahomes era. So that is some good company to be in if you're talking about that year.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, and it's exciting to see. I know all the fans love the deep ball, but I think what is so hard about what the Chiefs have done the last couple of years is just to throw it short and to keep the ball and to keep the drives moving and still to score touchdowns. Now, are they the 2018, 2019 Kansas City Chiefs? No, but they are very efficient, and I think it takes a special quarterback to be able to do that and sustain those drives.
Yeah, and just to throw out some more numbers for that too, Mahomes has 206 yards on his five deep completions this year already.
Wow.
Last year, he had 359 total yards on deep balls. So, I mean, we're already over halfway to where he was last year on the deep
Yeah.
ball. So that is fantastic. So, but the flip side is we're going up against a Jaguars defense who is pretty stout.
Yes.
Their defense has allowed the third lowest passer rating of any team this season, and third lowest passer rating on deep passes this season as well. So it's just there's a lot of good things that the Jaguars defense has going for them.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I think multiple takeaways in a game, and they lead in the league. I think you told me on the phone they lead the league in takeaways
Yeah,
this year so far.
they have 13 on the year, the leads the league.
Whew, in 4 games.
Yeah, that's impressive.
That is impressive. 4 games. Here they are taking away the ball 13 times, and so they're opportunistic. And so yeah, we're gonna have our hands full most of the game.
Well, since you brought that up, let me show you
Yep.
another stat then.
All right.
Mahomes, when facing the NFL leader in takeaways, is 5-2. And
Okay.
in all of those games, he has thrown at least 2 touchdown passes in those games.
Yeah.
So that at least makes it a little more. I don't know if reachable is the right word, but it makes it seem like it's going to be a lot easier than maybe it will be when he's 5-2 in those games.
Right. Yeah, and and I think even just being still so early in the for early in the NFL season, I think teams are still. I mean, they know a little bit of who they are, but I really still think they're trying to figure themselves out. And so, like, you have the Jaguars beating the 49ers, but then you have the 49ers beating the Rams, and then you have like the Panthers blowing out the Falcons, but then the Panthers getting blown out by the Texans. So it's like
Yeah.
like who are these teams, and then and then injuries play a huge factor into all that, and so which I think the Jaguars are pretty healthy right now, and knock on wood, the Kansas City Chiefs are still pretty healthy, and so
Yeah, I heard Andy Reid say just this week that everybody is practicing this week.
wow, wow,
So, I
wow,
mean, when we started this season, had so many people injured, and now
yeah,
everybody's back practicing. That is a big thing. So, Mike Dana is the big one that hasn't been playing
my
as
guy,
of yet. So, that's Dale's guy there. But it appears he's on track to potentially play in this game. So, we'll see how that all shakes out. But
man.
it is looking good. We haven't been super healthy in probably 2 years.
And just like perfect timing for Mike Dana to come back and play some big minutes and help stop that run that the
Oh yeah.
Jaguars are so good at.
Oh yeah. Man,
Yeah.
and that's such a good point too. So Travis Etienne, the
Uh-huh.
Jaguars running back there, is averaging over 6 yards per
My
carry
goodness.
this season. I mean, that's incredible. I don't know if you can keep up over six a carry for the season, but either way, just averaging that much over the first 4 games is still an incredible feat.
Yeah.
So that's the big question: is can the Chiefs defense stop them? 'Cause I know last week, we played when we were playing the Ravens, right? So they almost made an effort to say, "Hey, we're going to make sure that Lamar doesn't beat us."
Right.
They almost forgot that Derrick Henry was on the team, both the Ravens and the Chiefs,
Yeah.
because Derrick Henry averaged over 5 yards a carry against the Chiefs, and you do not want anybody averaging over 5 yards a carry. You want to be closer to 2 to 3 yards a carry if you're the defense. And so if they can give up that much to Derrick Henry, and maybe part of that's just they're different running styles, Derrick Henry and Travis
Oh.
Etienne.
Oh yeah.
Derrick Henry is a big back. He's a bruiser, just going to hit you hard and try to run you over. Travis Etienne is a smaller guy, but super fast. And so if
Super
he gets
fast.
the edge, he's gone.
Right. And I think that also plays to a couple of our strengths here as the Kansas City Chiefs. And not that I'm a Kansas City Chiefs homer. No, I don't want to sound like one, but this is the Kingdom Corner.
That's right.
Uh, is the fact that like our corners and our safeties do not mind contact. Like, and I think really
Yeah.
Trent McDuffie is the leader in that locker room, and that guy may be undersized, but that guy will come and lay the wood on guys much bigger than him, and is not afraid to put his head in there and try to stop. And so I think a lot of times running backs like to get on the outside because like those corners they don't like contact, but the Kansas City Chiefs corners do enjoy contact and do hit like tackling. And so and shout out Spags, knew he'd turn it around this season
Oh,
and
yeah.
fix everything. And so
You always
never a
had
doubt
faith.
Spags.
Yeah. Well, and
So
remember too, last week we gave up a run of 71 yards for a
right,
touchdown against Justice Hill and the Ravens. And so that is still in the back of our minds as fans, and
yeah,
I'm sure in the back of the minds of the defense. And I'm sure Spags would have been talking to them a lot more about that this week as well, saying, hey, this guy, Travis Etienne, he is a home run machine. If he gets the edge, he's going to break a long run for a touchdown. And so we've got to have good angles. So and when that Justice Hill run last week, there were guys that were out there that could have and should have made a tackle, but they took poor angles, and
Yep.
as such, they got outrun by him. So
Yeah, yeah,
we
yeah.
got to take good angles with Travis Etienne if we're going to contain him for this game.
Yeah. So yeah, that definitely one of the big keys in the football game Monday night with Peyton and Eli.
That's right. Oh, you're not going to watch with Troy, huh?
Or Joe. No.
All right. All right. Well, as long as we know where your allegiances lie here at the
That's
Manning
right.
brothers. So,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah. Well, let's look at the other part of this Jaguars defense, too. They've been held to 20 points the last 2 weeks. And last week against the 49ers was the first time that Trevor Lawrence has not thrown an interception. So,
Oh wow.
here's my question for you: it's not Travis? Is Trevor Lawrence? How do you rank him as far as quarterback play goes?
You almost forget that he's in the league, and that's not a good thing. And I don't know if it's because he's on the Jacksonville Jaguars or because he's had the coaching carousel. Like, there's just like really like there's a lot to that where he has not had the coaches for a longevity, like say Patrick or
Hmm.
Josh Allen or Lamar, is where maybe the head coaches haven't changed, and it's just like it's unfortunate because he was uber talented coming out into out of the draft into the league, and you're like, man, this guy's going to be the next one. And unfortunately, he really has not lived up to that. Now he got paid a big contract as if he was going to be that or the potential of being that, but still has not clicked. And so this 3-1 start for Trevor is probably one of his best starts as a starting quarterback. And yeah, and having everything, maybe just everything going right with down there with Liam Cohen. And yeah, so it should be interesting to see how if he can continue uh,
Yeah.
living up to it. But really, it
Well,
seems like it's been the defense and the run game that's kept them in these games.
yeah. Well, and Trevor Lawrence too. This is his fifth year in the league, and I believe it's his third head coach already in
Yeah,
5 years. So, I mean, that's crazy.
right. It is, and it's unfortunate just because yeah, no different playbooks, different missions. How are we going to beat? Are we going to throw it 50 times? Are we going to run it 40 times? What are we going to really do? And so yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how long Liam Cohen lasts.
Well, and I'll push back a little bit at least though. I don't
All
think
right.
Trevor Lawrence is having a great year. I think
Right.
he's made some big plays, but
Yeah.
he's not having a great year. His passer rating is under 80. It's 75.
Oh
Uh,
man.
so yeah, and for reference, Patrick Mahomes is a little over 94. So
Yeah.
there's some big differences there. And so he has 5 touchdowns and 4 interceptions.
Oh no.
Not the kind of numbers you want. And as I pointed out last week was the first week he
Yeah.
had not thrown an interception. So there's a lot to be desired there. And he's even on yards per attempt, he's averaging only 5.9. And so
Yeah.
you really want to be closer to 7 or 8. If
Right.
you're averaging closer to 10, you're really moving the ball. But you really want to be somewhere closer to 7 or 8 on your average, and he is below 6. So I don't know that Trevor Lawrence is ever going to develop into a great quarterback at this point. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he just needs a new environment. I
Right.
mean, Mac Jones looked great with the 49ers the other night, right?
Man.
I mean, Sam Darnold is looking good with new teams. I mean, just it seems like
Yeah.
a lot of these guys are going to new places and they look like the guys that they were drafted to be where they didn't look, where they were drafted at, they didn't look like that. However, I think if Trevor Lawrence is like in a market like New York City, I think they would have already run him out just because
Yeah.
he
Oh
has
yeah, yeah,
not
yeah.
lived up to the hype. So it's almost a blessing for Trevor Lawrence that he's in a smaller market like Jacksonville.
Yeah. And do you think so? Do you think the owners and the coaches and GMs they're not developing guys are giving them time to develop, or like why do you think there is so much like turnaround? I mean, it's like man, it used to be where you used to sit behind the starter for 2 years and then maybe you got to play, and see who you are. But yeah, now it's unless you're like the top, which Trevor Lawrence was first pick, I believe. And
Yeah.
so yeah, usually you sat for a year and then you kind of figured out, okay, who do we got? What do we got in this guy? And then let's develop him. Let's figure it out. And now it's so much. Hey, you got 2 years. If you don't do anything, you're Danny Dimes and you're out, and you're looking great on the Colts. So how's that work out?
Yeah.
What are the Colts doing that the Giants couldn't do?
A lot of it is these bigger market teams like your New Yorks and Philadelphias and Los Angeles, those kind
Yeah.
of teams. They have such a big market, so a bigger fan base, and so they're hearing it a lot more from fans and such when things are not going well. But I think the bigger thing is reason why we're seeing such poor quarterback play and development is coaching more than anything.
Okay.
Because when we get teams that are drafting high,
Uh huh.
and so you're getting these top tier quarterbacks or what are expected to be top tier quarterbacks, and they're not developing. So usually it's because the team just came off the worst season, maybe in their team's history, but at least um, one of the worst seasons from the previous year. So if you're
Right.
picking, because obviously how the draft works is if you pick first, it means you had the worst team last year. And so the teams that are picking first, second, third, or whatever it is, they're some of the worst teams from the season before. So this coach is already on the hot seat coming in
Right.
because he just had one of the worst seasons. So now he's got to figure out how to turn this around. So instead of letting these quarterbacks develop and learn behind mentors and behind veteran players, they're just having to almost force these rookies in there. So they might let them sit for maybe even the first 4 or 5 weeks, but then if
Right.
that team once again is not doing well because again they got the same quarterback, same whatever it is, and all of a sudden the coach is like, if I don't do something here, I'm out of my job. And so it's
Right.
almost a survival instinct for these coaches to say, okay, I got this rookie I drafted high, I got to throw him in there because I got to save my job and maybe I can develop him along the way. Whereas, the flip side of that is like a Patrick Mahomes or like a Jordan Love, some of these
Yep.
guys that sat behind for at least a year learning from these veteran guys. I mean, Patrick Mahomes still credits Alex Smith for his development and work ethic and teaching him how to be a professional.
Yeah. 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 And so, yeah, I think, and we've seen some guys that have just been thrown in there. Joe Burrow. Now I can't say healthy, but Joe Burrow and
Yeah.
just be great. Lamar, I guess was behind Flacco for a moment, and then
Yeah.
they brought him in, and then yeah, Josh Allen obviously had the growing pains, and like you said, I think you're right with the smaller market, you have a little more leeway. Of okay, Josh Allen's first year and a half, 2 years were not good.
No.
And and credit to him, he got in the lab and really developed and really honed in on his craft and got a lot better with some of his natural talent.
Yeah. So if teams can allow quarterbacks and such to develop like that, then
Yeah.
that's only going to help your team. But it's just a question of can your coach, can your organization, can all those people, can they be patient enough to allow you to develop, or are you just going to rush through your coaches just like your quarterbacks and then force quarterbacks into situations that they don't need to be in?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. So, but maybe some of these quarterbacks will end up developing. Maybe Trevor Lawrence is better than we think. Like you pointed out, Danny Dimes, right? Daniel Jones, he's playing for the Colts now. He's
Yeah.
looking great through the first, 3 weeks. Last week wasn't as good, but
Yeah.
first 3 weeks he looked like he was the top guy in the league. And so sometimes just a new environment, new coaching that can actually take their time to develop you, sometimes that makes a big difference.
And of course, we play the Colts this year.
Yes, of course we do. And I mean, we don't get the benefit that the Bills do to just be able to get cakewalks through
The
here.
cakewalks, yeah.
I
Yeah, yeah.
mean,
But we,
this
we
is
play
this
Danny
this
Dimes.
isn't about the Bills, but man, that guy, that whole organization, they just got the easiest path to the
The easiest.
playoffs
The one seed.
versus anybody.
Here it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, in the one seed. So if they don't get the one seed, then I would go ahead and say that they're not even going to make the AFC Championship game because they should get the one seed based on their
Their
schedule.
schedule. Yeah. Right, right,
Yeah,
right.
we'll see.
We'll see.
But the Jaguars. So their biggest target that we have to watch out for is Brian Thomas. So he leads the team in targets as well as yards. And on that, he has almost 15 more targets than the next closest person.
Wow.
So it is something to definitely watch for. Can we shut down Brian Thomas Jr.? So we'll see what happens. But he has the
Yeah, I think
most
it,
targets of anybody.
yeah, I think what we did to Malik Neighbors. I don't know what this guy's on the level of Malik Neighbors. That's the first time I ever heard his name, Brian Thomas Jr. No offense, Brian, but Malik Neighbors at least I've heard about, and I thought the Chiefs did held him in check. quite well. And yeah, and so really made sure that they were at least put his hand, or at least one hand behind Russell Wilson's back to make him throw and make completions, and hey, figure out another way to beat us. And so I think the big thing will be focusing on the run game for our defense is like how are we going to stop the run, how are we going to stop these outside, because I think that's how that offense goes, through the run first and then the play action and passes. And so we got to be disciplined and get off blocks.
Yeah. So we got to do that. But last week, the offensive line for the Jaguars had their best week of the year so far. That's not
Okay.
necessarily good news for us, but they allowed 0 sacks and 0 quarterback hits. So not one time did Trevor Lawrence even get hit last week.
Yeah.
So we cannot allow that to happen if we want to win this game.
No, and I think Spags will dial something up, a zero blitz, or the looks like everyone's going to blitz and then just the left side blitz. I'm sure there'll be something like that where, hey, we'll get some pressure on Trevor Lawrence. I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, well, good. I hope you're exactly right. So George Karlaftis this year has 22 quarterback pressures, which is third in the
Wow.
league. So his first week or two, he was struggling. I feel like in the last
Yeah.
2, maybe 3 weeks, even he has kind of stepped it up and kind of went back to where he was last season, finished off or at least close to it. And so if he can continue that, man, we're going to be in good shape.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, here's the big question. Who is Travis Hunter? He's a guy that was drafted out of Colorado, right? Played for the notorious college coach there, and
Man,
not even college coach, but just player in general, Deion
player.
Sanders,
Man,
right?
prime.
Played both
Come
ways.
on.
Wide receiver, plays cornerback, and even
Yeah.
came out saying, I want to continue to play both in the NFL, and he has played both ways in the NFL.
Yeah.
However, the last week or so, they've started giving him a lot more snaps on offense and a lot less on defense. So
Right.
he's not a every down player for both sides by any means. I don't think anybody will be able to sustain that. But it appears they're going to try to use him more on offense than defense.
Yeah.
And so last week he had his biggest outing of the year. It was only 42 yards, but it's still his biggest outing of the year. Got the most snaps on offense last year versus any other time in his young season. So who is this Travis Hunter guy, and do we need to worry about him?
Uh yeah, I think we probably need to worry about him. I mean, not like I don't know what to focus on him, but I mean, like he's a super athletic guy, and I mean, just be able to do what he did in college. And I think you just need to know where he's at on the field. I don't think much more than that, but I mean, like you said, like, and I think like what we're learning is that these rookies are having a harder time just to come in and make a huge impact right away, unless you're like a running back or a quarterback maybe. But these wide receivers, it seems like it takes a longer,
I'm just saying, didn't we just have this conversation about quarterbacks needing to develop? You're like, yeah, they're coming in here looking good.
Well, some of them. I mean, not all of them. Some of them. I gave a couple examples. I gave Joe Burrow. He looked. I mean, he looks great when he's on the field. But yeah, I think like it's taking longer to develop. Even Josh Simmons is taking time. I mean, he's not winning every play. He's still getting beat on some things. But I think like in
Yeah,
over I think week 10, week 12, he's going to be like, yeah, I've seen that move. Boom.
yeah,
And he's going to stop that. But yeah, I think definitely think where, yeah, I don't think he's like, hey, let's make a huge focus on him. But I mean, he is super athletic and he can make some plays and he can hurt you as you don't know where he's at on the field. That's what I guess what I end up saying. So yeah.
yeah. Well, if nothing else, he is a natural athlete and
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
one of the most natural athletes on their team, potentially across the NFL. To be able to play both ways at a high level is it's pretty incredible. And I know there's a little bit of flow and transition
Right.
spillover from wide receiver to cornerback, but still playing the different sides of the ball. So it is impressive to do that. And so if he's on defense, that means he is has a potential for bigger interceptions because he does have good hands as a wide
Yeah.
receiver. As a wide receiver, it means that he knows what cornerbacks like to do as well. And so he knows how to try to do things to put the cornerback in a bad position too. So there are a lot of things to watch out for. I'm like you. I don't think we necessarily need a game plan around him,
Right.
but the Jaguars have shown over the last week or so that they're wanting to get him more involved in the offense, similar to how the Chiefs are trying to get Brashad Smith more involved in the offense. And so,
I love.
yeah, which you love. So it's something to watch out for and something
Yeah.
that teams should be aware of when you're starting to see that trend towards certain players. And so
Right.
he is somebody that again, you don't necessarily need a game plan for it, but you need to know where he's at.
Right. And I think like when you get these hyper athletic guys, uber talented guys on your team and like just get him the ball in space. I think that's what they're trying to do with Brashard Smith is like, hey, let's just get him the ball in his hands and let's just sit back and wait and see what he can do and and so I think the same with Travis Hunter. Let's just get the ball in his hands and see what he can do since he is so athletic.
Yeah, because Rashad Smith, they drafted him because of his speed and breakaway speed, and so
Yeah.
they're thinking if we can get it in his hands, we have a bigger chance for a home run ball, which
Right.
is what they've been missing from the running back position. So we talked about before, but Patrick Mahomes led the league in rushing the first 2 weeks
Yep.
with 123 yards in those first 2 weeks. And then the last 2 weeks, he has not led the team in rushing, but it's also the only two wins they have. So
There you go.
there might be a little bit of correlation there if we can get
Uh,
that running game going.
I think so. And you think 70 yards a game from our running backs is enough?
No, I think
That was so
maybe
quick.
maybe
That was so
70 yards
quick.
from one player, but we're talking about multiple players here.
Yeah.
Your running game should be able to get you over 100 yards every game.
Okay.
And we have not had, and Patrick Mahomes has not had a lot of 100 yard, 100 yard players
Yeah.
in his career yet. And so I'd have to look it up again. But I believe, if I remember correctly, in his time, was it 8 years now, right? 7 years as a
Yeah.
starter. And that time, if I remember correctly, it was something like there's only been 15 games that he's had a rusher of 100 yards.
Yeah.
So, I
I
mean,
would I would almost bet half of those would have been his first year with Kareem Hunt.
yeah, with Kareem Hunt. And then
Yes.
even the following year, too, with Damian Williams.
Yeah.
Damian Williams had a couple of big games there, too. So, but
So
yeah,
yeah, I
you were
bet.
correct.
Yeah.
Most of them were from those first 2 years. I have to look up the
Yeah.
exact number again, but it's somewhere around 15 games. So
Yeah.
I would almost bet you that the other quarterbacks that have been on the status of Patrick Mahomes over that span have had a lot more 100 yard rushers than Patrick Mahomes has had.
So are you like Andy Reid and you would count the screen game as part of a rush?
No, I'm
Okay.
not.
Okay. All
I'm
right.
I'm looking at just the stat line itself because yes, a screen game maybe you can count as a rush, but it's still a pass. It's still a
Okay.
pass out to the flat. Yes, maybe sometimes they're more of a lateral and behind the line of scrimmage, so maybe it counts as a run. But even so, I am of the mindset that if you're passing the ball, then it counts as a pass. So I think that you should be able to run the ball by just handing it off to somebody and then get you, you
Yeah.
know, a clip of somewhere between 4 to 8 yards every time you touch the ball.
I like it. That's a good
So
That's a good runner. That's a good runner. Four to
it
eight
is,
yards, man.
yeah, I would like to have that on a consistent basis.
So you
And
think the
so,
Chiefs should still be looking to trade for a running back this year?
yes, I do because I think if the Chiefs were to get somebody that could open up that offense a little
Yeah.
bit more in the run game, it's going to help everything. It's going to help that pass game. It's going to help keeping the defenses honest. It's going to
Yeah.
help all of those things, all of the above. And so we saw what Xavier Worthy did by opening up the pass game just by having that deep threat. Now, what if you add a run game that teams actually have to prepare for instead of just
Right.
saying, yeah, just make sure you tackle them?
Yeah.
Because right
Yeah.
now, that's all you really got to say because they're not breaking anything. You just have to say, hey, if they run it, make sure you tackle them. And
Yeah.
that's basically your game plan for stopping the Chiefs' run game right now.
Let's go. That Brees Hall's looking better and better with the Jets keep or yeah, the Jets keep losing.
Hey, I hope they keep losing and be on his last year of his deal. That might be an actual possibility
I know.
if the Jets don't want too much for him. So it
Well,
all
they,
just
they can't ask too much. They just want capital, right? They just want picks and
you would hope so, but. Well, let's ask this: what would you be willing to give up for Brees Hall? Would you be willing to give up a first round and like a
no,
fifth
no, no,
round
no,
pick?
no, no,
So,
no, no, no
so
first rounds. But I think like like it's always amazing when these guys get traded. You're like, oh, it only took a sixth round to pick, and we could have had Brees Hall. It's always
yeah,
like something like that. And so yeah, I would definitely. I think I would go. Let's do a fifth and a sixth or a fifth round pick and a player.
yeah.
I take
Well,
Pacheco go back home to New York. He could, thrive there. So I feel like that'd be a good deal.
yeah. Well, I saw too with the Dolphins that
Yeah.
a running back is maybe becoming more possibility with, uh,
Achan.
yeah, is that Davon, something like that. Davon Achan, yeah, but Achan, yeah, because they had a cornerback, Xavier, I forget his
Oh
last name
yeah.
now, but he went out potentially out for the entire year, and so we have a plethora of cornerbacks right now.
Right.
So I'd be willing to give, like a Joshua Williams, who isn't necessarily an elite cornerback, but very serviceable.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh
so if we
yeah.
were to trade him and say, like you said, maybe him and a 6th round pick, maybe we could get Achan even.
Yeah, that'd be
Um,
sweet.
yeah, but I take Brees Hall, and I agree, we should not give up a 1st round pick for Brees
Right.
Hall. But what is
No.
the highest pick? It's say it was just picks, no players. What's the highest pick you'd be willing to give up for a player like Brees Hall?
Oh. Oh man. Fourth round.
Four? I
Yeah.
I'd do that. I don't think I'd do any higher than that as
No,
well.
I think Veach and his team are so good at finding guys early, even later in the draft. I mean, like even Rashard Smith is like a 6th rounder, isn't he?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, like just to find a guy like that that has the talent and the speed and yeah, is gonna put it together and
Well,
go.
let's not just go ahead and bank that as a win just yet. I mean, we see the potential, but he's yet to do anything yet.
Right. All
So
right.
potentially that will be a win, but
To find a
let
Patrick Mahomes in the tenth pick of the first round, I mean, was
yeah.
unreal.
Hey, he got picked behind guys like Mitchell Trubisky. So
That's right.
yeah, yeah, you're right though. I would not be willing to give up one of those first day picks at all for
Yeah.
him.
Well, Kareem Hunt was like a
But
seventh rounder, right? Kareem Hunt was a
yeah,
seventh
he
round.
was a
Yeah.
7th rounder.
There you
I
go.
think part of that would be too, you'd have to be able to talk with his agent beforehand and say, what's the likeliness that we can sign you for an extended contract, or is this a 1 year deal? That
Right.
would depend a lot on what I'm going to give it.
Oh, well, you're willing. Okay. Yeah.
If I'm
Yeah.
only going to have him for this year and he's not going to re-sign with us for anything,
Six
then
max.
yeah, then I'm
Yeah.
not giving up even a 4th round pick. Yeah,
No.
I'd be closer to a 6th or 7th round pick
Yeah.
if I'm only going to get him for 8 games or whatever it is that we'd potentially be able to get him for. So we'll see, we'll see. All right, so we got our pick six now coming up here.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
first
All
off,
right.
first off, we're gonna jump to that, I guess. What are your keys to the game? What do the Chiefs need to do to win this game?
Yeah, I think Jawan Taylor needs to play really well and stop the pass rush of Josh Allen on the
Yeah,
defensive end and make sure Mahomes stays clean. And then also, I always worry about these. I know it's been hot in Kansas City here this last month, and it hasn't really. But I always worry about the weather for some reason when we go to Jacksonville and or Jacksonville or Miami or something like that because of the humidity. But just like making sure that yeah, we hopefully adjust and the weather doesn't play a factor. But it could. That humidity is a real thing, and I think yeah, containing the run, kind of what we talked about all about this containing the run. I think stopping the run, making Trevor Lawrence one dimensional where he's got to pass, and I think we'll pick him off.
yeah, that'd be all right by me. Hey, and we got to give Juwan Taylor a little bit of love. I'm not gonna say a lot, but because last week
Yeah,
was his first game this season that he has had no penalties at all.
right.
So thank you, Juwan Taylor. Glad you're getting the message from your coaches and potentially fans like us who've been chattering about it. But I know if you're in that position, you're probably not
Yeah,
listening to anything. But so
no.
hats off to you. But yeah, I agree with all those things. But I'd also add too, we have to be able to stop the run with Travis Etienne. If we
Yeah,
allow
yeah,
him
yeah,
to average 6 yards a carry or more,
yeah.
it's going to be a long game, and it's going to keep the Jaguars in. The Jaguars' pass offense is not where it needs to be, but their run offense
Yep.
is pretty elite right now. So we have to be able to stop the run, and then we have to keep it going from last week with the big plays with Xavier Worthy stretching the field. If we can keep that going as well as stopping the run, we'll be in good shape.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, I got a final score prediction here of Chiefs 31. Yes, we're going to cross a 30 mark again, and
Man, I love it.
Jaguars 20.
All right, I got a little closer game for me. Chiefs 24, Jaguars 20.
All right, 24-20. So it's a 3.5 point spread right now, which brings us to our
Yeah.
pick six. So with the 3.5 points, are you taking the Chiefs or the Jaguars?
Yeah, give me the Chiefs to win that for sure.
All right, I'll take the Chiefs as well. All right, and we got Trevor Lawrence with 217 passing yards. He's averaging just a hair more than that, but I know the Chiefs defense is good. But I'll go ahead and take the under on that one.
Yeah, I'll take the over because I think we're gonna stop the run. He's gonna get a couple more passes in, and that is gonna make it go over.
All right. Worthy with 61.5 receiving yards.
Okay, receiving, not all purpose.
Correct. I got that one coming up later.
Okay,
Well,
yeah.
kind of.
Give me the over. He's gonna get a deep threat here. They're gonna open it up.
I'll take the over as well. I think that he is,
Yeah.
he almost, well, he had about that his first week anyway. So Travis Etienne with 60.5 rushing yards. I'll take the under. I think the Chiefs defense is going to step up for that.
All right. Yeah. Give me the over. He's gonna break one
All right.
early. I think he breaks one early, and then the Chiefs settle down like they normally do.
All right. Well, I hope he doesn't, but we'll see. Yeah, that first drive always seems to be a thing for that Chiefs defense.
Yes.
It's like that first drive, those teams always drive the field, and then all of a sudden it's back like, okay, I see what you want to do. Now let's stop it.
Let's
So,
stop it. Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah.
All right, here's kind of a different worthy to have a rush of 10 plus yards and also, so the dual one here, also
Yeah.
a reception of 30 plus yards. So you have to get both those.
Whoa.
A rush of 10 plus and a catch or
Mm.
reception of 30 plus.
Yeah, give it to me. I'll take it. I'll take that
I,
action.
I'll take that as well. It might be a little bit of stretch to get both those, but I'll take it. All right.
Yeah.
Mahomes 2+ touchdowns. I'll take that. I know we just talked about earlier. He gets 2+ or more when he plays teams that are leading the league in turnover. So
Right.
I'll take the 2+.
Yeah, I'll also take the 2+. That means he'll have three. I think he's going on this streak. We had four. I felt like they wanted five last week, but they're like, let's not get greedy. Let's pull them. But yeah, I definitely think we'll see Mahomes to keep rolling.
All right. Well, our records as of now, right now, Dale is 11-11, pulling at 500. I'm
Boom.
at 13-9. So,
Woo! Look at
man,
you,
I
man.
got a couple games on you. It sounds a lot better than it is. It's got 2 games on you right now, is all it is. But
Okay.
I'll take the win either way. I'll
That's
take
right.
it. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Hey, well, thanks for joining us in this episode of the Kingdom Corner. Just as a reminder, again, make sure you go do all those things to follow us, subscribe, share this with your friends, get you a $5 shirt at ohaythreads.com. We'll see you next time right here in the Kingdom Corner.